Hello everybody, it's Molly with AllEars and I'm here today with a brand new video for you, and this one's really fun and it's called Attractions That Deserve a Second Ride. What does that mean? It could mean a million different things. It could maybe be an attraction that some people blow off because they don't think it's that cool, but we're gonna tell you why it is. It may be an attraction that changes every time you do it, or it may be one that there's so much going on that you need to ride it more than once to see every little detail. We've got a full list for you. We're gonna take you to all 4 parks. It's gonna be an adventure. Let's get going. One attraction that definitely deserves a second ride. Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and that's because the drop sequence is completely unknown, which totally adds to the terrifying element of the attraction. A computer controls the drop sequence and it's completely random. So you could go down first, you could go up first, you could go up, down, think you're done, and then go back up again. You never know what's gonna happen. So if you love the Tower of Terror, then you need to ride it twice, or 3 times or 4 times, live your dreams, and see what the drop is like, because I promise it's gonna be scary every time, because you don't know what's gonna happen. A great way to do Tower of Terror more than once is to get a fast pass for it and then monitor the wait times and come back when it's a lower wait time. So like right now, it's only 20 minutes, but I do have a fast pass, but I'm gonna jump in the standby queue first, wait that short wait time, ride it, and then come back out, still be in my fast pass window to ride it again. Wrapped up Tower of Terror drop number 1. So much fun. That one was really good. I went up a little bit and then down, then up again, a little bit down, and then it was crazy. Going back in with my fast pass for round number 2. Let me clarify, you don't have to do it back to back if that unnerves you, but because the line was so short when I got here for standby and I had a fast pass, I figured, why not? Finished with my second drop. That time we went up first. So like I said, you never know what's gonna happen when you drop in to the Tower of Terror. The next attraction on my list that I'm gonna talk about isn't a one you need to ride again because there's extra things to look at or that it's gonna change every time you ride it, but it's one that you may have overlooked, and that's the Astro Orbiter. You may look at it and think that's just Dumbo with rocket ships. And sure, it pretty much is, but you get a really unique view of Magic Kingdom because you're up high, you get to see Tomorrowland really well, you get to see a lot of Magic Kingdom, and it's especially really cool at night. And I don't know if it goes faster than Dumbo or because you're up high, but it seems more thrilling and faster than Dumbo. So it's not a fast pass attraction. I wouldn't tell you to wait in an hour-long queue for it, but if it's like 30, 20 minutes or less, I'd say check it out, especially if you haven't for a few years. This is one that I hadn't ridden for literally a decade, and then I rode it for the Everything in Magic Kingdom video, and I was like, wait, this attraction is super, super fun. A great attraction to ride more than once is Star Tours. The adventure continues. The adventures continue. I checked. Star Tours. The adventures continue, and I'll tell you why. Because you're not going to go to the same place twice in a row. There are a number of different locations you're going to go. There's a number of different bad guys you could have to fight. They kind of change in the sequences so you could have a different beginning, middle, and an end. They actually just announced that they're going to add in Rise of Skywalker locations as well. So, like I said, you don't know where your mission is going to take you. You could go to Endor. You could go to the new place from the new movie. You could go under the sea. Jabba the Hutt could be there. No, he won't be there. He might. Jar Jar? This is how much I know about Star Wars. But I'm just telling you, it's going to be different when you ride it. I'll prove it. Come on.
Imperial troopers, what are they doing here? I'm afraid you're not really allowed to be there.
Follow the ship. It's gonna lead you through the planet's core.
Any help would be appreciated.
So that time, I did see Jar Jar, and we went to Endor. Right? That's the Wookiee planet. There were Wookiees swinging from a vine like George of the Jungle, and there was Jar Jar Binks. So I'm gonna go again, because I love you guys. And I'm gonna see where I go next. And I say that because this ride makes me nauseous. But you know what? I'm gonna see where I go now.
Stormtroopers will be deactivated for sure.
Archers, what are you doing?
I have no idea.
Well, stay low.
Why?
We'll use their tracking. Put your shields up. If they work.
BB-8, what are you doing here? Mission? What mission?
On my second flight on Star Tours, lots of crazy different things happened. For starters, we went to a planet, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's from The Force Awakens, and the guy from The Force Awakens, Finn was there, so that was different. And then BB-8 transmitted a message, whereas the first time Princess Leia transmitted a message to us. And then we went to that ice planet from the 8th Star Wars movie, the one nobody likes, where you ride on the ice and then the red stuff comes up. And then General Bill Weasley on the bad team yelled at us, but don't worry about it, Poe Dameron saved the day. So, you know, never know what's going to happen. Oh, and we ended on Bad 2, which was just crazy talk. So Star Tours, definitely ride it more than once, and a more diehard Star Wars fan would probably appreciate it even more than I did, and I had a ton of fun. Another attraction in Animal Kingdom that I like to do again and again is the animation experience up at Rafiki's Planet Watch. This is a relatively new experience. It just started in the summer of 2019, and it's kind of like the animation classes that used to be at Hollywood Studios, where a character artist is going to teach you how to draw a Disney character in about 25 minutes. It's super fun. It's very relaxing. It's in the air conditioning. Plus, you get to take the train ride up there. But the reason I say to do it more than once is because you can learn to draw different characters. Right now, because it's at Rafiki's Planet Watch and they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of The Lion King, they're doing all Lion King characters. So I have drawn Timon, I have drawn Ed the Hyena, I have drawn Simba. So you're gonna learn to draw different animals. Hopefully, each time you go, you'll learn to draw somebody new, and it's really fun, really relaxing, and it's one not a lot of people know about because it's up at Rafiki's Planet Watch. So really fun, really great activity. Do it again and again, and learn how to draw somebody new. One of my favorite thrill rides at Walt Disney World, Rockin' Roller Coaster, is another attraction that deserves a second ride. Not only is it amazing, but did you know each limo has a different Aerosmith soundtrack? That's right, you could be grooving to Dude Looks Like a Lady. You could be doing Love in an Elevator, except for it's Love in a Roller Coaster. You could be doing Walk This Way. You don't know what your soundtrack's gonna be until you ride the ride. Great thing about this one is it does have single rider, so you might actually be able to ride it back to back pretty quickly, which is what I'm gonna try and do right meow. I love single rider because it lets you get on an attraction relatively quickly without using a fast pass, especially at a park like Hollywood Studios where it's tiered and you can't get both Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror. You can use single rider at Rock and Roller Coaster. Your party's gonna be split up, but it's a 90-second roller coaster. You don't need to talk to them anyway. Went on my first round of Rock and Roller Coaster and I got Sweet Emotion, which I seem to get a lot, and I asked the cast member and he said 2 limos have Sweet Emotion, but I'm gonna go again and hopefully score a different soundtrack.
Hey, yo, Steven, how about some backstage passes?
Wait a minute, I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
Wow, backstage passes twice? Lucky girl, truly blessed. Round 2 of Rock and Roller Coaster complete. My hair looks amazing, but it worked. I rode again and I got a different one. I got my favorite one, which is Love in an elevator, but at the end they sing Love in a Roller Coaster, which is awesome. I just love that attraction, so go twice, see what songs you hear. If you've watched the channel before, you know one of my favorite attractions to ride again and again is Kilimanjaro safaris at Animal Kingdom. Why? Pretty obvious if you've been on it. It's animals. You never know what they're gonna do and what you're gonna see. It depends what time of day you ride it. It may depend on the weather. So many different variables. They may have new baby animals out. There are so many things you could see, and it's gonna change every single time because those animals are unpredictable. Perhaps you watched the video where I saw how many Animal Kingdom fast passes I could get in just one day. We'll link it for you guys. But I rode Kilimanjaro safaris 3 times that day. First thing in the morning, middle of the day after it rained, and in the evening. And I had a completely different experience each time. So this is not only one of the best family attractions in all of Walt Disney World, it's one that you can ride again and again, and it'll always be different. I definitely recommend. It's very popular. Get a fast pass, but also maybe try and ride it first thing in the morning. That's when I usually have the best luck seeing the most animals. So come first thing in the morning if you're not going to Pandora, and then get a fast pass for later in the afternoon and see what happens. It'll be wild. My next attraction that I think deserves a second ride is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, but it's for a little bit of a different reason. This isn't because it's gonna be different the next time you ride it or anything's gonna change about it, but because I think most people don't give it a fair chance the first time they go on it. It's not a thrilling roller coaster like Rock and Roller Coaster. It's not really a stage show like some of the ones here. It's a cool attraction with Lightning McQueen, but the reason I think you should go again, especially adults, 1, you can sit down in air conditioning again, and 2, it's really funny. Like adult humor funny. Like there's a joke at one point where an ad Lightning did in Japan airs, and it's for like an anti-leaking oil thing, but like, you get it. Or at one point when the bad guy hacks into the system, if you read the code, it says like Lightning McQueen is a loser in the code. Anyway, you get the point. This attraction's actually pretty funny. Go see it because your kids are gonna like it, but also you're gonna laugh. Pay close attention. I promise you'll get a good chuckle out of it. So it's one people may have written off originally, but it's actually quite hilarious.
Should we race this guy?
Yeah, you can beat him. Yeah.
Oh yes, you should race Chip, even though he's so much better. Oh God, you're the queen. Ain't like a beaver.
The next attraction on my list is the only one at Epcot, and that's Living with the Land, which is inside the Land Pavilion. Very fitting. And this is on there for 2 reasons. 1, some people hear the description of a slow moving boat ride through greenhouses and they're like, boring, I didn't come to Disney World to learn. But I'm telling you, it's a delight. It's 1, very relaxing, 2, it's very pretty, and 3, you get to see like fish and plants and stuff, which maybe I'm not really selling it, but folks that love Living with the Land totally get what I'm talking about. And if maybe you wrote it off before as not exciting, give it another chance. I'm not telling you to wait an hour-long line, but if it doesn't have a long line and you need a relaxing break in the middle of the day, definitely check out Living with the Land. The other reason I'm recommending Living with the Land, even if you already love it, is that it changes every single time. Different flowers and plants are going to be in bloom. Right now it's the Food and Wine Festival, so they actually have little signs up saying which of the ingredients are being used in the food and wine dishes that you're eating. So it's really, really neat. It's always going to be different. Like I said, really great relaxing, air-conditioned activity in the middle of your day at Epcot. A great attraction that deserves a second ride, Toy Story Midway Mania. It's so much fun, and because it's a game, it's fun every single time you ride it because it's different every time you ride it. So let's say you ride it, you figure out how to use the pull strings. The next time, you can try and improve your score. You can bet your family member who's better. You can aim at higher ones or lower ones, or actually look at what the scores are on the targets as opposed to just shooting randomly. This is a great one to ride again and again, especially if you can get Fast Pass. I don't want to brag, but I did get best in vehicle. But can I beat that score? That's why this one deserves a second ride. When I rode, whoops. I mean, I guess I ride 3D attractions enough. I should own my own pair, but I'm not about stealing. Anyway, the first time I rode it, I got 228,000. This time I got 237,000. So, mission accomplished. I bettered my score. This is one of the best rides to ride more than once. Another attraction that deserves a second ride, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I love this attraction, partly because I love Buzz Lightyear, but it's a super fun attraction, and similar to Toy Story Mania, it's a shooting game, but this time you're playing with laser guns instead of those pull-string targets. Now, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is a little bit harder to master where exactly you're shooting as compared to Toy Story, so that's one of the reasons I think you should try and ride it twice if you can in the same day, so that way you can definitely master that. And of course, like any game, it's fun to ride it again, try and beat your score, mix it up with who you're sitting with in the family, and try and beat them. Any ride that has a scoring aspect to it, I'm going to tell you to ride as many times as you can, because it's always fun. It's always different. You're being put in a video game. One of the best attractions to ride a second and a third time is right behind me. It's the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And the reason it's great to ride it more than once is there are 3 different positions when you get into the cockpit. You could be the pilot, gunner, or you could be the engineer, and you're going to need to ride it 3 times in order to do all 3 things. Now, there is a single rider, but in the single rider, you're just filling in with parties of 5, so you're most likely going to end up being the engineer. They hand out the cards for which position you're going to be in the order of 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and then 2 engineers, hence why single riders are always last and get engineers. So I recommend, it doesn't usually have a long line, get your friends, ride more than once, and then barter within your group to make sure everybody gets multiple positions.
Weapons are online.
You guys are not very good at this. The next attraction on my list is on it for a few reasons, and it's the Fantasyland Classic, It's a Small World. Some people seriously write this attraction off because the song is somewhat catchy and it may get stuck in your head all day long. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. But seriously, people write it off and they don't want to write it because of the song, but you totally should write it. It's such an important attraction when it comes to Disney history. Walt Disney himself worked on the original for the 1955 New York World's Fair, and it's been at Magic Kingdom since it opened. It's seriously such a classic. You gotta write it and just embrace the song. Also, you should write it even if you love the song to look around more. Every time I write it, I notice something new. The dolls are from all over the world, and every time you write it, you're gonna find a new doll that you can love. I personally love that winking hippopotamus. There's a couple different ones that you can point out. I love the tiger with the umbrella, and you'll find your favorite Small World doll. So definitely don't write it off, write it, and just embrace it. Well, there you have it, friends. Our list of attractions that we think deserve a second ride. What attractions do you think deserve a second ride? What attractions do you try and ride more than once on your Disney trips? Let us know in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net, and until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.